Now time for more local news. I'll have the stories for the north, and in Dundee it's Ben Phillip.
Good evening. Police are continuing to search the Fife coastline after suspected human remains were discovered in St Andrews on Sunday night. The remains have not been formally identified, but the family of missing student Duncan Sim have been informed. Officers were called to an area near West Sands at around 6:30 p.m. The public have been asked to avoid the Scores area as searches continue this week. Plans to extend free personal care to under 65s with degenerative conditions have been backed by a Holyrood committee. MSPs unanimously supported the change known as Frank's Law, which is due to come into force from April next year. It follows a lengthy campaign to change the law by the widow of former Dundee United footballer Frank Capel. Amanda Capel's husband was diagnosed with dementia at 59 and died in 2014, just weeks after he qualified for free personal care. A multi-million-pound expansion of a Perth meat processing plant will create 80 new jobs in the city. ABP Perth has received £4 million in Scottish Government funding to build new factories. The money comes from the government's Food Processing, Marketing and Cooperation Grant Scheme. It's part of a wider £18 million investment in the company. Now, more than 120 residents from care homes across Perth and Kinross took part in an event today highlighting the importance of physical activity. Designed around this year's theme of the recent royal wedding, Go for Gold is one of the biggest events of its kind in Scotland. Participants took part in various activities with the aim of promoting active living for people of all ages.
The purpose of the whole event is really to get people more physically active and to introduce that really into their lives all the time. Even people in care homes can do so much.
You last longer. And unfortunately, Britain's been too long in taking it up.
Well, if you don't, you just laze about. You're just sitting, you're sitting all the time, you know. Whereas when you get up to 60, 70, 80, you've got to keep your feet.
Movement, it's essential. If what is it the doctor says? If you don't use it, you lose it.
And finally, an Angus Cub Scout is breaking records after earning more than 60 badges in 3 years. 11-year-old Gregor Kennedy from Kirriemuir has barely any room left on his uniform and has even received recognition from British astronaut Tim Peake. Dave Donaldson reports.
Cubs from the 2nd Kirriemuir Scout Group playing games at a weekly meeting, but one of the pack is leading the way. Gregor Kennedy has racked up a staggering 63 badges in just 3 years.
These ones here are my challenge badges. That's one of the old ones. I remember that one's my world and that one's my team leader.
And what's been the hardest badge to get out of them all?
Probably the skater's badge.
Why?
Because I had to do a 360 jump on inline skates. It was really hard.
It's not just skating that Gregor has had to learn about. He's also taken part in a wide range of activities, even tidying his own room.
He's learned about cooking on campfires, first aid. We went away to Megarney with the Cubs and he learned how to deliver CPR, put me in the recovery position. He had to keep his room tidy for 3 or 4 months and we tried to get him to keep that up, but it's with a limited amount of success.
Gregor's mum Emma decided to become a scout leader after spending so much time taking him to activities, but given her son's success, it's turned into a full-time job. He's got all these badges. Do you have to sew them on?
Yeah, I saw them on. He wanted to do his last one, which was fine. He did that. If it's a wee bit off kilter, I might change it. But he's put the last one on, and he did put one on to get another badge.
While Mum searched for more space in Gregor's uniform, her son's remarkable achievements were being recognised by British astronaut Major Tim Peake.
Tim Peake liked a tweet that my dad put up on Twitter about me getting all the badges, and yeah.
How did that feel?
So good I couldn't get to sleep.
Gregor is now moving up to Scouts, where there are even more badges to collect, and is sure to be reaching for the stars. Dave Donaldson, STV News.
Well, those were your local stories in Tayside. If you've got a story you think we should know about, you can contact us through Facebook or Twitter. But for all your news on demand, download the STV News app.